One of my favorite times of the week, meal prep day. I have a few of these a week, I'll be honest, but figure I'll just show you what a meal prep looks like. I'll make a bunch of rice. I do have a rice cooker, but I'm going to set up the camera and show you what prepping food looks like. I actually enjoy it. You can toss some music on in the background and just turn it into a fun time. It's going to be pretty simple. Sweet potatoes are a necessity if you're going to have clean, healthy living. It's great for the fiber. It's great to help with, just keeping you cleaning out on the inside. Uh, Going to braise the short ribs, then put them in the slow cooker. These are an awesome treat, so you're not reaching for garbage. Obviously, ground chicken, everybody does it. And for me, I got some spicy Italian sausage just because I like to toss that in with my rice. And yeah, it's pretty simple, easy to make. I can go through all of this I can prep it all within half hour, and then I've got 2 days worth of meals, 3 days worth of meals, depending on what I add. So I'm going to start with the sweet potatoes, going to dice them up, put them in the bowl, add a little bit of water, and microwave them for 6 minutes. Yes, it is that easy. And then I've got 3 days worth of sweet potatoes for the healthy eating portion. So let's get into this. Pretty simple how we prep the sweet potatoes. I just want them diced up. So I try and square it off as much as possible. These things I'll just chop up because they're hard to work with. You'll understand when I get to cutting that piece. Yeah, I always use a cleaver. I have my chef knives, but I find a cleaver is just a lot easier to use. So they're basically like a centimeter by a centimeter. Why I do that, like I said, when I square it up, then I can do this, which also makes a really easy way to make sweet potato fries if you're into it. It really is that simple. So I will speed up the rest of this portion so you're not watching me chop vegetables. And we'll get to how to prep all the meat and stuff. I'm gonna add like a quarter cup of water and toss it in the microwave for 6 minutes. Sweet potatoes are in the oven, so we'll just move a little bit of this stuff around. Turn up the chicken. This is very simple. You can just leave it on low heat so it doesn't burn anything, and it'll literally cook through the entire pack of chicken just sitting there like that while you're working on other stuff. And a little secret, it's actually good to brown it a bit like that, because that's where the flavor comes from. If you ever wondered what really good gravy is, and the reason the French have such good gravy is because they take it just before it burns, so it's kind of caramelized. The process is called Maillard reaction. You can look it up. And what that does is you get, wherever you see it browning like that, that's where the most intense flavor of the food is. So it's basically cooked at that point. So we'll get on to the braised ribs. Grab my, so I guess I can actually turn that way down. Grab another pan. Gonna want that on high. Now my preferred cooking oil is sesame seed oil. I like the flavor. Some people don't. Use whatever you're comfortable with. I don't use a ton. I guess that's maybe a tablespoon and a half. Gonna get it up to temperature. Okay, chicken's done. Move that from the heat. Sesame oil's warming up. Looking good. And then essentially we're just going to put these babies on. Sear both sides. And then toss them into the slow cooker. Not even going to season them. We're just looking for that really nice sear. Again, just like what we said with the chicken. If you put a sear on, you really unlock a lot of that flavor. It actually produces a new flavor. Really brings the intensity of the flavor out, we'll call it. Get you a nice up close look. Make sure you hear that sizzle. That means you're at the right temperature. Now it's time to flip them. I'm going to use my hands because that's what I do. That's the kind of look you're going for. Another 45 seconds on this side and they'll be ready for the slow cooker. I think we're just about ready, so we're going to grab one of them and look at that. So I'm going to put these in the slow cooker, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down that to like mid heat, because what we're going to use is we're going to use all that flavor in the pan to cook up the sausages. Now, go over here. Don't have to make this anything fancy technique. Into the slow cooker. So what did we put in the slow cooker? I like to use mirin, a little bit of Asian cooking wine, and some red wine vinegar, but apple cider vinegar works just as well. All right, so we got heat in that pan still, a little bit of flavor left on the pan. Roll these guys on. Cover the slow cooker up. Actually, we'll move these around. Okay. So I cook sausages a little different than most people. I don't fry them until they're done. If I was typically, I'd like to put them on a barbecue, but I'm showing everybody how to do it on a stove this time. What I do is I usually just like same thing. I like to get a bit of a sear on the outside. Get it nice and sizzling. And then I actually like just pouring a little bit of water into it and then covering it up and letting it kind of, I guess, not really boil itself, but kind of almost steam itself kind of thing. And then it leaves them really flavorful and juicy. And what it does is it'll actually pick up the flavors off the pan, liquefy them, and then it kind of coats the sausages. Okay, so what I'll do, like I said, a little bit of water, cover them up, put it on fairly low, and 2 minutes like that, and they're done. If you wanted to see, like I said, it makes a really nice, not really a gravy, but a coating sauce with all the flavor that's been stuck to the pan. As you can see, pretty simple. Does not actually take a lot of time. Got the sweet potatoes, ground chicken that's been fried, hot Italian sausage, and braised short ribs that are going to slow cook now for another, I don't know, we'll leave them in here for 3 hours. Who knows? They're going to be amazing. What's a really nice touch if you're not worried about your sugars too much is like I sometimes will use raw coconut sugar and just sprinkle it on. Not a lot, just sprinkle it on onto the braised beef. So as far as what I'm going to eat, I'm going to take a little bit of that chicken. I'm going to grab one of these sausages. There you go. That's going to be my meal. You can add a little bit of hot sauce or whatever, but that's a great meal right there. You got your protein, you got some fairly clean carbs. You could use brown rice instead of white rice, but that's completely up to you. So there's our little meal prep adventure. Time to go train.